Oh yeah. All right.
All right.
Hello.
Hello.
There we go. Can anyone hear me?
Can
Testing.
hear
One,
you.
two, 1, 2. We just got
How's
a bit of
things?
a new
Okay.
sound equipment we have, everyone. So it is going to be quite different. So you got to try these things out to make sure it works all right. But I'm hoping everyone can hear me. And today we are joined by SPIG, which is Scotland Paranormal Investigation Group. Before I start, everyone, SPIG, would you like to introduce yourself and how do you get into paranormal and about your branding?
Yep. Aye. So we're Spig, Scotland's Paranormal Investigation Group. We have been running since March 2021. We're in the middle of rebuilding our team, so it's mainly just myself and David. We've actually brought a new investigator in with us, Stephen. He's been out with us 3 times now, I think. So we basically came about. I've been doing paranormal investigation since I've been 18. I've been in different teams and whatnot, so I thought I'll take it on board and start my own team. So that's what I've done. David's now with me. He's been in the team now for around 8 months, David.
Yep, definitely. I'm loving
Around
every
eight
minute.
months. So we've had our ups and downs, but we're getting there. Things are getting good. Things are improving. So it's a pleasure being on the show as well. Yep. Thank you for having us
Definitely.
on.
Yep, definitely.
So, David, how did you make of the paranormal then? How did you join SPIG?
Well, the rigger was looking for people to join, and I applied to go with for a trial with them. And I went out one night and got on great, and I've been there ever since.
Yep.
Do you enjoy it, David?
Oh yeah, I love it. Well, I wouldn't enjoy it if I hadn't been doing it for about 20 years.
But you are uncovering the history behind paranormal. So
Oh
that
yeah,
is an advantage there. And
yeah,
especially if you're forming a group, because then you're not investigating alone and you've got someone to bond with. So that's also
that's it.
good as well.
And we're all
Yep.
learning at the same time.
That's what paranormal's about as well, isn't it? I mean, it's going to be
Yeah,
the mystery that keeps the paranormal going. If
yeah,
there's no mystery, then where would paranormal be right now?
that's it. You're
Very true.
learning all the time.
Hmm.
You come across different things that you don't understand.
Say again, sorry.
You come across different things when you investigate, and a lot of it that you don't understand, and it becomes more intriguing that you want to know more.
Yeah, it's very intriguing. Very intriguing. I suppose that's what makes paranormal what it is as well, isn't it? Because it's ever changing, it's ever growing. So
Yeah,
that's a great category to go into if you're interested in finding life after death, which is the main staple to keep that paranormal bond together. But yeah, let's move on then to starting off with some questions. So who would like to take on the first question?
I'll take
it
it.
is.
Who's going to put their hands up first? I wonder.
I'll go for it.
Yep.
So then, David, we'll start with you then. What are your views and feelings on paranormal investigators making fake and unrealistic content to discredit the investigators that are doing true and authentic content?
Disgusting.
Don't elaborate.
Yeah, they're bringing the paranormal down. They're dragging them into the gutter just to suit themselves.
It's not
I,
good, is
I,
it? Because, paranormal is very upsetting to most and it's very a heartfelt subject.
yeah,
So people would want to be honest about what they are doing.
yeah,
Otherwise, it's going to be disheartening towards them.
yeah.
Yep.
Especially when there's people out
Rigger,
there.
what do you think? Do you
Sorry.
think making fake content is great in any way?
I can't stand it. The simple fact is, as you say, there's myself and David, and there's thousands of other people out there that's got the true passion, the true belief, and take their own personal time, um, their own personal money, just to even get to destinations. whether that be being in Scotland, it's the weather's unpredictable, we'll say. So there's times where you're maybe walking a mile or two just to get to a location. You're soaking wet. You're putting yourself through it all just to even just get the slightest activity. But yet you've got people out there that know fine well when they get to a location, they've got stuff set up and it's all for the money base. Through Facebook, it's all for send stars, they make the money. On a podcast last night as well, and I've always said that when it comes to send the stars and the money and charging people to do private investigations, the paranormal then becomes second best. Your main interest is the money. Wherefore, our interest is the paranormal. We've been investigations, private investigations, and we've been offered money. And we told them, no, it's a pleasure for you to get in contact with us. We take it serious. We're not after any money. If anything, the fuel comes out of our own pockets and we go and investigate. We do what we enjoy and we try and help the people that's living in the property or own the property. And we'll never ever take money off these people. But there is a lot of people out there that fake it as well for entertainment purposes. So, again, last night on a podcast, I mentioned when we go live, we might not get much people watching, but these people
Do you want my opinion when it comes to the fake and unrealistic content? I don't see there's a point in doing it because as you do paranormal from the start, you're building up a community. And when you build up that community, you do it because of trust and you're doing through an actual honest content. You don't then disappoint them as you go on further in your YouTube career and then make another 20 minutes production when it's not real. You can put that 20 minutes making real content, making it sound real and engaging with your ever-growing community. It's not great if you're going to spend another 20 minutes trying to move a chair without the camera or watching you. So it doesn't make any sense towards me, but I don't do paranormal as a content. But I think people that are doing it to fool audiences, I don't get the grasp in why people are doing it.
Well,
I understand if they're doing it for entertainment, that's fine if you're doing it for entertainment purposes, but you need to, put a notice on the front of your video saying it's for entertainment and we're not doing it for the true and realistic side of the paranormal. But I just think that's anyone's guess. They need to do that because then it's not fooling audiences and they can switch off if they actually want to watch, real investigations.
Well, that's the thing with the Facebook Live. We'll go at the start. I wasn't looking to go the Facebook Live route because I believed it was kind of, again, it would take the paranormal. You would more concentrating on the phone and signals and whatnot. But we tend to go Facebook Live. We don't get many viewers, but there's teams out there that get loads of viewers, and it's because it's the entertainment purposes. Wherefore, the viewers that we get, we won't draw as much viewers because we're legit. So it takes a lot of patience and a lot of time to communicate with the spirits. You could go there in 2 hours just to get the spirit to light up one of the cat balls, so to speak. But that's true paranormal. Wherefore, these people do entertainment. They go into a location, 5 minutes later, they've got a chair that's moved, they've got a light that's went, and people enjoy that. But at the same time, these people, they believe it as well. And that's what makes it so hard for the likes of genuine people to try and show and validate evidence that they've captured. Because then, with the entertainment side of things, these people enjoy that. And as I said, these people that are enjoying it, which is entirely up to them, but they start believing it themselves. And the people that's doing it for entertainment purposes, they start believing it. And it just becomes one big lie. And that's how the paranormal world's so hard to try and prove, so to speak.
The thing is, you don't need to spend extra time trying to appease your audience. That will come gradually as you build in that community. You don't need to spend, trying to make 6 weeks and then try and do videos every day, because then people are thinking, is this a dodgy sort of channel if they're producing videos every day? Because a natural content creator would release probably every 2 videos the other day, or 3 videos a week, for instance. Because I know for just by interviewing paranormal guests that naturally, if results were going to come fluently, it won't happen every day. It won't happen in every investigation.
No.
But however, it could also be pre-record, which is why I don't judge anyone. They can release a video every day. They can release it every other day. But it's just, you got to appease your audience. You got to make it look genuine. You got to make it look like you are fully interested in the paranormal, and you're not going to fool your audience years down the line.
Yep.
Yeah,
Exactly.
really.
So, in your opinion, then, and this is a joint question, so who wants to answer first before I conclude?
I'll
Just
answer
ask
first
me.
this time.
David is in. David is in on that question.
No, it's okay.
So, David, in your opinion, what made paranormal so popular now than back 10 to 20 years? Now, before I conclude this question, I have some very good creative answers in these interviews. But let's just see if there's anyone else that can suggest other ideas. Would you have done investigations back then and releasing them knowing there were little demand for those topics?
Yeah, because I was interested in it. You need to be
How would
interested
you
in
release it?
How would you what?
How would you release it?
That's quite a difficult question, that.
See. But I did have some suggestions, though, and I'll help you out. People have been saying that you can release them on a videotape and sell them into a video shop, or you can put them on DVD and then sell it to a DVD shop. Rigger, sorry. What's your opinion when it comes to that? Well, how do you think paranormal existed 20 years ago?
First off, there was no social media, so social media is a big help if you're choosing to get your name out there or whatnot. But back then, 20 years ago, it probably just document it, video camera. But again, it would be personal purposes. Like now with Facebook and YouTube and stuff, you can document it and you can post it up so the world can see, so to speak. But back then, it was kind of, when I was in a group back then, it was a personal footage for us to watch. So we would just sit, we'd go to the lead investigator's house after the investigation, we'd run through all the footage, and that's where it stayed. If there was things that we needed validated, we would send it away. But we would maybe get our name out there with newspapers, things like that. But social media now has totally changed the paranormal. I think a lot of people jumped on the paranormal bandwagon as well through it. So
you think about
it's an interesting question to ask, though, and I'm guessing more paranormal fans would be wondering, how did paranormal exist 20 years ago when there was no YouTube, no Facebook, no Twitter, no Instagram? So it is quite a wondering question. It's quite a curious question how investigators would think it existed, but I like the responses. They are good. I really like them.
It was TV.
TV was a big one. Mm-hmm.
TV.
That was the thing that started it. TV.
What TV show then, David? What's your
Most
instinct?
in 2002.
Golden Hunters, did you say?
Most Haunted in 2002.
Oh, Most Hunted. Sorry, I think that the sound is a bit dodgy on the connection, so I do apologise if I misheard anyone on this live radio show. But anyway, we have 2 listeners in at the moment. Do tell us who you are, listeners, and who's watching this live and where to, and if you've got any questions, because SPIG will answer them in the show, so do make sure you have those questions coming in. But, Rigger, if there was a budget of up to £50, what paranormal equipment must be brought as a priority?
Oh, that's a good question. I definitely would bring in the cat balls. Cat balls would be one. Possibly a digital EMF as well.
EMF readings.
But again, it's for now until like 10 years ago, the price of equipment shot right up. Like there's people that's making equipment and selling them for like £300-400 when you could possibly make it for £50. So what I would do is I would buy parts of equipment and I would build something. I'd build my own REM pod, say, because you could probably build 3 REM pods for £50.
Yeah.
What camera then? What camera would you recommend? Because with a smartphone, be able to do it. What camera quality? And within that £50 budget, it's quite hard as well, isn't it?
You're probably looking at a push, maybe a cheap 4K GoPro, £50.
In the region of £50 with a paranormal equipment as well within the price.
Oh, are you talking about right? So you'd have to get a camera in with this. So I would have to get equipment plus a camera.
Oh yes, within that £50.
Kodak.
What is the priority within that bracket?
I would probably go for the equipment rather than the camera, just because then on a personal note, if we've been out on an investigation, if we don't have any camera or anything to capture it, we know what we've come up against, we know what we've captured, and that's what we believe. So it'll be kept amongst ourselves, but again, we can't really validate it for the public to see or anything like that. So I'd definitely go with equipment rather than a camera.
Interesting.
But again, to go for a camera,
you've got to make those investigations look authentic as well as you've got to prioritize equipment over quality. So yeah, that is.
But you could go down the road of getting a cheap camera and using yourself as equipment. That's what they say. The best part of equipment is yourself. It's your senses and stuff like that. But I'd probably just go with equipment, help communicate with them rather than the camera.
Very good opinion there, Vigor. Very good an opinion there. What about David? David, what's your...
My what?
What's your view when it comes to equipment? Would you recommend the same as Rigger?
Yeah, the cat balls definitely. I would go with equipment. I like using my voice recorder. So,
right, everyone, we're going to take a quick break. I know it's going to come early only because I need to sort out the sound issue that I'm facing at the moment. I have got loads of new equipment on this recording, so it doesn't happen often on these shows. But we're going to take a quick break, everyone watching, and we will return with Rigger for part 2 of Paranormal Radio. Apologies for that, SBIG. We had a bit of sound technical difficulties there. No, but we are now back on the air, so let's get into the next segment of Paranormal Radio. So, Rigger, is your turn to answer the next question, or would you want to pass it over to David?
Sorry, I'll answer it.
So, Rigger, what are your top tips for a beginner to start doing paranormal investigations?
Equipment. Maybe just cheap equipment for Amazon, I would say. You could get things like Catball, K2, just a wee starter pack, so to speak. And
how would you operate them as a beginner then?
Oh, they're simple. They give you the instructions. So obviously the Catball you just put down. But usually find that the people that maybe want to begin, they've kind of got a knowledge, a slight knowledge of the paranormal by watching other teams and whatnot. So I'd imagine with the K2 and stuff, but you've got locations as well. So being in Scotland, there's loads of abandoned locations. So I would advise them, if they were going to go in abandoned locations, to maybe go during the day. So then they know where the hazards are. Instead of just turning up there at night and falling through a floor, so to speak, and don't go themselves. And trust yourself as well, and be open and respectful. Respectful is a big one as well. Not just for the spirits, but for the location as well. Don't be going with rubbish or bottles of water or juice and leaving it. Be respectful of the location. Any location you go to, respectful. Spirits, be respectful of them as well. But don't go alone.
So, David, what would you advise beginners doing paranormal investigations? What are your top 3 tips?
Well, if you're going to start out, try and join a team. And as Rigger says, don't go yourself and go during the day. Just what Rigger said earlier. Basically, what you said. That's the rule.
Being calm is help as well, isn't it?
Oh yeah,
You've got to
yeah.
treat paranormal as if you was talking to a friend in a cafe, haven't you? You know, you got to be calm and courteous. You can't be aggressive or or wanting to have a result in the next 30 seconds because paranormal doesn't work that way. You know, you got to let it flow. It doesn't follow a script. You got to be patient, and patience is that main factor of getting a good investigation.
You've got to build. I'm a strong believer you've got to build trust with the spirits as well for them to communicate. If you go in there and just and maybe start provoking or whatever, you've got to build trust. You've got to show them that you trust them, and you're not there to judge. You know what I mean? You're just there simply to communicate, and then you'll be on your way.
That's what I mean. I mean, it's just being that nice and calm in effect, and that paranormal results will come to you. And there's no time limit for when that'll be. So just sit back and enjoy the paranormal ride.
Yep.
Yeah,
Good answer there. So what would be your top 5 must-see places for someone looking for a paranormal adventure? Would it be graveyards? Would it be a shopping mall? What 5 things would come to you for a paranormal adventure?
My number one is Asylum because it's just in itself, it's got that fear factor. And I know being in certain situations, your mind can play tricks, but that being somewhere like an asylum or somewhere with a lot of history, where there's been a lot of deaths and tortures or whatever, I think your mind plays a lot. So it's good to go to somewhere like that because then you can start training your mind, so to speak, and you know the more you want to go to asylum, you start understanding that you can control yourself. But that would be my number one. Anywhere basically, graveyards. I like graveyards, but again, there's a lot of people. They'll say that's the last place the spirit will want to be is a graveyard. They're not wanting to go and see their own gravestone and whatnot. But again, this is what we're learning. You know, graveyards could be full of their spirits. It might be something they enjoy. You know what I mean? It might be something they go to the gravestone and then that's when our memories come back. We don't know that. But there's forests as well. We've not done a forest yet. Obviously, again, being in Scotland, the weather's unpredictable. In the summer, it gets cold at night. But a forest is something that we're definitely going to go to. Also, it's got to have some sort of history. Doesn't necessarily need history, but you better go and knowing slight history. We don't like looking into too much history because again, it can start if you're using like your spirit box and you found a name on Google, you might automatically believe that this name's came through the spirit box because it's already stored in your memory as well. But something to do a location maybe to do with children. But to be honest, that's a spirit I wouldn't like to come across because it always freaks me out, and I don't really get freaked out. But I think if I was to come into contact, like true contact with a child, my mind would be absolutely blown. But there's tons of places in Scotland. There's tons of abandoned places, and we've only really touched the tip of the iceberg, so to speak. We want to go further afield, and maybe down to England and that as well. We're looking to go to Dublin, but there's loads. The world's your oyster.
Thing is, though, you don't have to go to specific places, though, do you?
No, you don't.
Any place in the world can deliver results. It's just about being realistic in where you're going, I suppose, and doing those background checks to make sure that investigation is appropriate and the surroundings of that area.
Yep. No, you could go out in the street and get communication. But it's just I don't know why. I think everybody in the paranormal things they always tend to go to locations that's known to be haunted or whatnot. Now, there is locations that are known to be haunted, but they're not. But you're paying £300, £400, £500 to go to these locations, and it's just for publicity. So that's a thing you need to watch out for as well. Because a lot of these places you go to, like I've been to a few myself, paid over the odds, and basically got next to nothing. And these companies are making big bucks. So I tend to I prefer the abandoned stuff or a private location. But or whatnot. So, but again, you could sit here and try and communicate with a loved one. You know what I mean? It's just patience is the main key. You need to have patience.
What about you, David? What's your view on the top 5 must-see places for a paranormal adventure? What is your thoughts?
Oh, I love doing jails.
Jails.
Yep.
Interesting.
And asylums, because I did one in Irvine, and that was unbelievable. But no, I like the abandoned ones as well. You don't know what you're getting. They surprise you. And the more of them you do, the more interesting they are.
Mm-hmm.
It is, and that's where I find revisiting places is also a helpful thing to do. It's because you don't know what activity you can be getting each time you go there. So
That's
all
it.
about revisiting. If at first you don't get results,
Yeah.
revisit and revisit again, because that will be that key part of making that investigation look like you have activity over time, not
Yeah.
at each time you go there. Each time
Yeah.
it's going to be bringing different results, and it's going to bring different energy and different activity. So it's important to remember that.
Yeah. And it does happen because we've experienced that. So we
Mm-hmm.
have.
Yep.
But
There is.
David, I'll lead this
Yeah.
question on to you because Rigger had most of the questions being asked first. So, David, you're now in the prime seat of paranormal radio. And the
Yeah.
question I have is, what are your views on the Necrophonic app? Are they designed for entertainment and not for conducting real investigations?
Depends how you look at it. Depends on the user. I think.
It depend on the app as well, because there's so many
Yeah.
clones about that you can download.
Yeah, but the one, the Necrophonic, is the best one.
Mm-hmm.
We've had lots of good activity with that, as in answers, and some of that would have blown your mind, especially when we do the blind spirit box.
Mm-hmm.
That has been unbelievable.
It's
So I do
there's been
recommend it.
sorry, David.
No,
There's just before I forget, with the Necro, I was quite sceptical with it because I know a lot of these Android apps and whatnot is just for entertainment. But
yeah.
we done a Necrophonic one night and we got a name. It came through and the name was Edward. Now we ran the SB7 and Edward came through again, and then we ran the Paratech, which is another app, and Edward came through again. And then when we ran the Blind Spirit Box, the person that had the earphones in and was blindfolded, Edward came through again. So when we started calling out Edward, that's when all the activity happened. And we, in this location that we could go to, every time we're on the Necrophonic app, Edward comes through. And it doesn't really come through in any other location apart from this location.
Thing is, I do wonder, and I think most are wondering the same as well. Necrophonic apps on iOS or Android Play stores or app stores, they would acquire a Necrophonic app on the actual app store itself for an unreasonable amount of money. And if it doesn't work for you, you'll have to go through that process of getting a refund and stuff like that. What are your opinion on the price tag matter as such? Do you think they should really pay for that service and hope it brings them good luck in the investigations? Or do
Well,
you think they should look at YouTube as a source of these apps being tested first? What are your
well,
views on
I'm
that?
a bit I'm not really much into tech, but when I put my mind to it, I'm a bit of a whiz kid, so I've managed to get a Necrophonic app for free. So I've not paid for it, but I know what you're saying. You
So
could pay for it, and
you can assume that when they see $3.99 for a Necrophonic app, they're going to think, right, that's a bargain. You
then
know,
aye,
they've got to really read the small print before
yep,
they purchase the
Yeah.
yep.
application, haven't they? And that's the crucial part as well.
You see,
Reading the
it's
T&Cs and don't leave any stone unturned. because you don't want to pay for something that isn't going to be going well for your investigations. So it's important to narrate the two.
Again, it works the same with equipment. You could purchase equipment. People spend crazy amount of equipment, £200, £300, £400, £500.
And as you're a beginner, you can gradually build up your equipment set.
But like the price,
not straight away, but you can build up gradually on a gradual pace.
But the price of a second-hand Ovilus, you're talking minimum £500, say, and you could purchase it, and you could get it, and it could be faulty. So I'd rather lose £12 or whatever on an app rather than £500 on a faulty Ovilus.
Definitely.
That is pretty wise thinking there, Rigger. That is pretty wise thinking. What about you, David? What's your view? Do you think you should really purchase that at the $4.99, or that should go through the equipment fund?
I would see how it's being used and see other groups using it first before I bought it.
Interesting.
And see what sort of reviews was on it.
But Rigger and David, the question I will ask you both is, have you seen Paranormal Radio before? Because I do have some surprises in store. Are you ready for that?
No.
I have not.
Have not.
Seen one episode of you, Rigger. Since our invite have came to your DM and your inbox, you've not seen one episode of Paranormal Radio.
I watched 10 minutes, I think it was. But things have been hectic. Plus, my phone is terrible. See, you watch stuff on it, it's absolutely terrible. I'm surprised it's not actually started crackling yet. Usually if I'm on StreamYard, it'll start crackling, and then I need to leave.
I think we did have some sort of sound problems, and it's still sort of...
No, it's my side, I think. My phone will start like crackling when you're talking, so I need to leave and then rejoin back in, but it's not even an old phone.
Never fear, Rigger or David. The signal is just about okay, so we should manage this episode of Paranormal Radio. We do live in hope. We don't want to have any connection issues, because that will bring a disruptive into the mix of Paranormal Radio. So if we can try to avoid that last and disruptive thing, that would be fantastic. But you can't predict what's happening on Paranormal Radio, Rigger. You can't predict what goes down on these shows. It doesn't run a script, because there could be connection issues, there could be sound issues, there could be anything.
That's what I like. I like living on the edge.
That's what I'm saying. These does not follow a script, because anything and anything can happen on these shows.
Yeah.
But Rigger and David, we're going to go to the blast of the past. And do you know what that means?
Yes.
What does it mean, David?
Away in your hat. What you done before?
We're going to showcase a clip to the viewers watching this live and watching on replay. And we're going to discuss what we see on screen. And 3, 2, 1, let's go.
That goes live.
For a long enough.
We're going constant, not Joe?
Yeah. Step away from the ball. Step away.
No. But what I'm going to do is I'll go back to the glass, and if it keeps going, then I'll move it. It'll be done in the room earlier.
Oh, sorry again. It's gone again.
It's not coming at any trouble, is it?
Can you touch the red light next to it?
What about putting the toy thing for that roller?
Oh, you mean the
Yellow ball?
The big yellow ball? Huh?
Just, if that's maybe...
I thought I was an actual cat, man. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, you touched that big yellow thing.
It might go one more time, David, once it
okay.
sets.
Would you not shut yourself if that went up?
Oh no, I'd love it. Honestly, we've been trying to get that going. Well,
Can you touch one of the female's heads?
you follow this from the other room?
Alright.
Hear it?
Yeah.
Oh, there's the ball going. Right about the demon doll.
The demon doll has just touch the doll. You touch that doll for me. Touch the doll.
Because you need to, the less pressure you put on it, it makes the noise but roll lighter, but also the more pressure.
You push it.
Go on, show us what you can do. If that ball goes again, I'm going to move it. But if you're around this ball and you're near me, you're standing next to me. Can you light that up for me?
Touch it. You know you can do it.
We know you're here because we heard your voice. Yes.
Roll on into your story. Can you push that yellow ball? No.
No. Oh, Spirit, show us what you can do. Is your name Ian? Fixing that for me, that lights up. Yes. Yes. Your name's Ian. You touch that yellow ball. Aye.
Can you push the yellow ball?
Do you see that?
What?
To the right hand side, look towards me, the yellow ball, there's a red light just flashing in the ground. Oh, is it?
So then, SPIG, what do we see on screen?
That's the cat ball that's lit up. Now, if you listen closely, you'll hear rain. It was quite heavy rain. In where we were, it was there was shelter, but there was some holes it was coming through. So obviously we had to set the equipment up away from the holes in the ceiling. Obviously, the equipment would get wet. But the thing with the motion ball is it was going constant, but every time David went up to it or myself, it would stop. And in that footage, David walked away from it and it went again. The reason why I put the torch on it was because when we were at a location before, the motion ball was going and the REM pod. So we thought we were getting paranormal activity until I put the torch on it. It turned out it was a mouse that was, and we must have placed the equipment down in the path of the mouse, or the mouse had ran across and seen the ball and went, oh, and it was going back and forward. So that's why the torch was on. But during it as well, you clearly hear Girl coming through the necrophonic, and there was two females with, and that was the first time they'd been with, and that was the first time they were at that location. Also, you get a response to, can you touch the yellow ball, and you hear aye coming through it, and that's what Scottish say, aye, meaning yes. Don't know. The yellow ball that we brought, we always take that with us. We've never had activity with it. We believe that it went once at a location, but it never moved. You heard, David, you said you heard the sound of it?
The music.
The only way to manipulate that yellow ball is to press on one of the animals. So it is hard. It's not hard to manipulate, but you need to go up and physically touch it, one of the animals. That's why we take it with us. So as we know, if it goes, there's a high chance it's going to be paranormal activity. Unless it's an abandoned location, there's maybe a chance that a mouse could run into one of the animals or whatever. But we always tend to put a torch on it just to see. But there was most activity was with that ball, and to be honest, I think that's the only really thing we got in that area at that location was the motion ball going.
Mhm.
I mean, I did
Definitely.
like the results coming out of there because it was very high quality, and you could hear, word to word what's actually happening. You can actually feel the emotions that's coming from you as a team. So it was quite nice to watch, I must say. What are you, David? What did we see on
Yeah.
screen there, and how did you feel about that investigation in particular?
See, to be honest with you, I actually thought that investigation was quite quiet.
That's a quiet investigation.
But the results that we did get were actually good. The thing was, no in that room, but in another room, we could actually hear as if there were noises coming from the basement.
Mhm.
Like stones getting moved. I mean, heavy, big stones. But in that clip there, that is like I said, that was the most activity was in that room, and especially in the corner to the right of that doorway, we were getting stuff there.
It
Other
really is
than that,
mind blowing as well, isn't it? It's mind blowing what
yeah,
paranormal can do and what results you can capture. It's mind blowing, David. It's mind blowing.
but definitely,
See,
we have
the
unbelievable stuff.
the thing is, when I mentioned the holes in the ceiling, the reason obviously was to keep the equipment dry, but potentially if a bit of rain or a raindrop hits the motion ball,
Yeah,
there is a high chance it will light up.
yep,
But where the motion ball was, it was completely dry. Last thing we
yeah,
want is any equipment to get wet. On the other hand, when we're at that location now, we've come up with a spirit's eye. So it's something that we try. It's basically the blind spirit box. So if David's got the earphones in, we also put ear defenders over. Blindfold, we run the necrophonic app, and you cannot hear a thing. During that, what we'll do is we've got a whiteboard. We'll ask you people on the live, give us a number, any number. First person to say a number will write it down. And at that location, it was me that was on the blind spirit box, and David wrote the number down.
yeah,
I think it was it 7?
yeah,
It was 7. So David
yeah,
was calling out to asking the spirit, what's the number that you can see? Let Rigger hear. You say the number. And bear in mind, I don't know when this number's been wrote. I don't know what the number is. I don't know at what stage David's going to ask the number. And I came out with 7. No, it was 10. I came
no, it
out
was 10.
with
10. I
10.
said it twice.
Yep,
You could
10 twice.
Yeah,
But it is wee experiments that we've been trying. We've had it before. We got 7, I think it was. And then we just thought, right, maybe we'll just try a shape. So we asked somebody to do a shape. I think it was a diamond or a triangle. So again, we drew the shape. And the person on the blind spirit box came out with the exact shape that was drew. So it's wee things like that we like, just to, because you can't explain it. Again, you can't see, you can't hear, you don't know when the number, the shape, the word, the letter, anything is going to be wrote.
it's unpredictable.
It is, David, and that's what paranormal's about. It's that unpredictable of results. You don't know what you'll capture.
Yeah.
And that's the most welcoming
That's
part.
what drives you on.
It's when you have that engagement with your audience, and whether because that bond you have with your community and your audience, the community itself will inform you whether they heard something that you didn't hear.
Yep.
So that is the most fantastic part of it. It's having that engagement and having that feedback, because that's what paranormal is.
And the ones that we have watch us, they do join in. They tell us if they see anything, and one person in particular, Dennis, he gets everything spot on.
Yep. And we don't give the locations out. So I'll
No.
edit a wee photo and I'll get a name for it. I don't give the exact location because Google's a wonderful thing and we don't want anybody turning up and stuff like that. So with Dennis, he does not know where we're going at all. Nobody knows apart from obviously the team. But as David said, Dennis has got everything perfect, and that's just by watching through a phone. So he's coming. We're going to get him out one night, and as you were saying, Tom of the community, we always like to mention to people, feel free to come out one night. We don't want them just sitting on the Facebook group and watching and they put a picture up. We want to try and get them involved as much as possible and give them the experience. Meet us as a team.
It's like it's like having that experience as if you was there, but digitally.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep.
That is a good way of looking at it. I like that. But then, David, what are your thoughts on EVPs?
David's subject.
That's my kind of thing. Depending on to me, it depends on the recorder that you use. Because the one that I use, the Panasonic DR60, we have had great results with that, and have proved that it's not a setup with this machine, because we have left it on its own running, then came back after about 5 minutes, and we've had great results.
Mm-hmm.
Actual somebody speaking.
It's
Conversation at some
David.
point.
It's breathtaking.
Yeah, definitely. It can blow your mind. And
What about you, Vigor?
plus,
What are your thoughts on EVPs?
I've always liked EVPs because it's there. So you ask your questions and you're listening back. If you catch something, your mind's blown. But since David's been in the team, he's got like the best EVP you could possibly get. I think they're going for like £3,500 now second hand. They're just that rare, so hard to get. But ever since actual listening to a proper EVP, my mind has been blown. As David said, when we left it on the table, we would get a wee bit of fresh air. We usually take a break during investigation. A wee bit of fresh air, we came back and we listened to it, and there was a conversation and there was an aggressive mail that came through. And is it alright to swear on this? No?
Oh, yeah. Feel free.
Oh, is it?
Feel free.
Right, so
But,
near the
I
end.
do want to inform audiences that those who do watch it on Vplay, please do watch it with your discretion. It is on the advertising posters, those who have
That's
seen
fine.
these.
I noticed it, but I
Paranormal
just thought I'd
Radio.
make sure.
So yeah, please, younger
when-
audiences, I do not encourage bad language, so please don't use it as such.
When we listened back, now David's been to this location tons of times, so the spirits are used to him. I've been a hand about 7 times, so I'm gathering spirits are starting to kind of recognise me as well.
Mm.
But what we got was, it sounded like a conversation, but this male spirit was getting agitated, and near the end it said, "Clear as day, David and Rigger, get to fuck." That is what came through this EVP, but in an aggressive manner. And that just blew my mind. But one of the clearer ones we got was, we were at a private location, and a voice came through and it said, "The cow with the dodgy telephone."
And
that's how clear it came through.
And it was clear as well. It was very clear.
Yeah.
So clear. And
that is shocking.
my mind.
David. What do you make of that? That is a shocking result.
Yeah. Can I just say something? See if you use other recorders you can use, but see if you know how to use them properly. You might not hear it as you play it back, but using certain software, you can delve into it deeper.
You can be taken aback by what you're hearing, can't you?
Yeah, definitely. But if you delve into it deeper with other recorders, you can get stuff off them if you do it right.
We tend we tend now, before we start the investigation, David will do an EVP session just to determine, going by, if what we're going to basically be dealing with. But there's a certain location that we go to, and the last time we were there, David done an EVP session, and straight away, this male spirit came through aggressive, up high rated that we were there. But he definitely follows us about. But 100%, you could go to this location with David's EVP and spend 5 hours just with an EVP, and you'll gather so much evidence, so much.
Interesting, Rigger. Very interesting to hear about the most shocking results you've uncovered on the EVPs. I must
Oh, that
say.
one was shocking. I get excited.
And I think the viewers must be shocking as well by what they heard, because they would think, how could a piece of equipment turn it to be an 18 plus in its language? It's mind blowing, it really is.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the thing, you don't know what's going to come out of these equipment. That's the enjoyable part.
You can't guarantee.
What creates our mysteries, what creates that motivation to continue within that paranormal journey.
Yeah.
Because it's ever growing, it's ever changing.
Yep.
Definitely.
But Rigger and David, my last question I'll ask you before we go for a break is, what do you think about the images movie gives us about aliens?
Aliens? Oh, I don't believe in aliens.
You don't believe in aliens, David? Why not?
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's all codology. That's just my opinion.
But I thought E.T. was real. I do believe that there is something up there, because I like watching all this sort of stuff and documentaries and things like that, and we're just the slightest bit of dust up there, like the smallest minute bit of dust in amongst it all. And I watch footage and stuff like that. But Area 51's a big thing for me as well. There's things like that. It's mind blowing. I think being up there in the universe, the more you think about it, the more you kind of get intrigued into it, find it intriguing. But I believe there is something up there. At times, I just want to. Yeah.
I suppose you need to have an interest in it.
Aye. Well, that's it's
David,
the same sort of
it's
thing.
never too late to get interested in aliens.
No, it's just not my thing. It's just not my thing. But I've got nothing against people who are really into it now, interested in it. That's their thing. My thing's ghost hunting. Do you know what I mean?
I do believe it. David, aliens come under the same for paranormal.
Yeah, but but in a different category.
Oh, different category.
Yeah. Yes.
Well, you Rigger, do you think aliens is the same as paranormal, or in a different route?
Aye, probably different. I'd imagine. Aliens are living, aren't they? If they do exist.
And they're ugly.
Well, put it that way, where I stay, it looks as if there's some aliens walking about. No, I believe there is. The universe is mad. The world as well. The world it's a strange place. There's a reason why we're here. There's a reason why it exists. But I do believe there is something up there. I would like to believe. I'd like to see it as real, because I find it interesting. It's really good when you look into it and you start watching documentaries and finding more stuff about galaxies and stuff like that. But I believe there is. But again, they always say, "Oh, this date the aliens are going to come and visit," or
MASH.
Somebody gets zoomed up. Sometimes I want to just get beamed up, But I believe there is. I believe there's other things on the planet as well. I believe there's things just like Sasquatch, Bigfoot. But yeah, I do.
Well, at the moment, Rigger and David, we got 3 listeners in. So whose are those listeners? Do get involved in the show. Rigger and David are polite. They will answer your questions. So please do write them in the live chat, as we will answer them through the show. And if you've got any questions about Rigger and David, that is non-paranormal, we'll be answering that at the end of the show as well. So do keep those questions coming in. And if you enjoy these parts at the moment, we'd like to hear it. What part did you enjoy most? Did you like Rigger and David's answers at the moment? If you do write them in, and on live replay, do write them in the comments as well. But Rigger and David, do have a hot chocolate, do have a cup of biscuit, and we will see you in 2. Spig, are we ready to resume broadcasting? Oh, I think we lost you then for a minute. We lost the sound.
Said I was liking that wee song there.
I know.
Like a rascal cowboy.
I think Rigger likes these tunes, I must say. But it's good because those that enjoy the music on Paranormal is enjoying their time on Paranormal Radio.
Yeah.
That's
definitely
a good sign of knowing. I like it. But then, Rigger or David, who's going to answer the next upcoming question?
Rigger.
I'll go for it.
Rigger is in the prime seat then. So, Rigger, would you spend the night in a place where people say that there are ghosts?
I would not necessarily believe of what they're saying, because as I said previously, there's a lot of people say, "Oh, this is haunted. Give me £600 and you can come investigate it." I would go just to find it myself, 100%.
What about you, David?
Oh, definitely. I'd be pulling him out the road to get in first.
That's good. That's definitely good. Because it also tests your receptors as well, doesn't it? When you're spending the night where people say that they are ghosts, it's making your receptors come into play, isn't it? When you're seeing all these different sorts of feelings and feeling that. So yeah, it's a good way of seeing if you've got any fears as such. Because you would take up that opportunity if you didn't. But yeah, nice set of answers there, Rigger and David. Very nice to hear. But would you spend the night in a very old uninhabited house, church, school that was known to have ghosts?
Yeah.
Aye.
Yeah.
Yep.
Done it.
I would. Aye. Done it. Yep. Done it. And mine's been blown every time.
Yep. Yeah.
That's good to hear, Rigger and David. Very good to hear. But David, I'll ask you this, just in case you've seen a ghost behind you right now. Have you seen a ghost?
Yes. I did.
What was how did you react to that?
Yeah, I was actually blown away with it. It was actually on video. I was behind the camera and I could account for the 2 people that was in another room to the side of me. And it was actually a spirit of a child looking through a window. And as the video went on, it gradually disappears, comes back, then disappears altogether. And I've even had people saying when they've watched it, they have said that looks like a child.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
The video's actually on another page, a Facebook page called Ghostman Investigations. So people can go there and search for it, and they'll find it. And
do that, everyone watching this on live replay. Do give Ghostman Investigations a quick look, and you'll be mind blown by the videos.
The date on the video will be the 5th of December.
The 5th of November.
December.
Oh, December. Apologies, David. I've got new sound in the office today, so I don't know whether that's interrupting these radio shows or not.
Yep.
But we won't know until I watch it back. But I do apologize if it is interfering with the broadcast tonight. I do apologize sincerely on this, as I haven't prepped the sound as long as I would like to be able to do it to the best of my capabilities. But hopefully the viewers are watching this live haven't said that they can't hear me, can't hear Vigor, can't hear David. So that's a good sign. But
Great.
for those watching it on replay, I profoundly apologize because sound problems isn't a known occurrence on paranormal radio. So I do want to
Well,
make
could be
that known.
paranormal.
Could be paranormal. I like that theory. Did you get to talk with the ghosts then, David?
You do through EVP.
Not through human-to-human contact?
No. Doesn't work like that.
Or would it
Doesn't work like that.
would it fade away if you looked at it?
No, it just so a lot of the time people say they see ghosts and it's not really ghosts, it's a replay.
Ah.
And you'll hear people say they look at which I suppose ghost and they don't look at them. That's just a replay. Whereas like that video I'm talking about, they're staring straight at you because they're watching you. And that's the difference between a ghost and a spirit. A spirit.
What's your thoughts then, Rigger? What's your thoughts on the ghosts?
Do you mean if I've seen one? Well, I've never really seen a ghost with my own eyes. The closest that I've got that I believe it's basically an attachment, and again it's at a private location, and the photos on the group. So whoever's watching, head over to the Scotland's Paranormal Investigation group, look through the photos. I can even send you it, Tom, yourself. But
It was a strange one.
it was the first time we went to the investigation, the private one. It was the first time we were there. We were taking pictures. David tends to take the pictures without a flash. He's used the night mode on his phone.
Yeah.
So we were taking pictures and we look back, and it does look like a spirit is trying to attach itself to me. And it's so strange because the spirit looks see-through, and so do I.
Mhm.
But being at that location, we were coming up with, there was a female that was a teacher and stuff, and the more you look at the photo, it looks like there is a female standing with a book open.
Yeah.
But days after that, I felt so ill. I was in my bed for days. So we went back to that location again, I think it was a couple of weeks later, and me and David tried to recreate the photo. Exact same. Nothing had been moved in the house. I stood the exact same way. Everything was set up the exact same. And we could not recreate that photo whatsoever at all. But I've never physically or visually seen a spirit in front of me. And that is something I would love to see. I'd also love the full team to see it at the same time.
Of course.
Because as I said, your mind could start playing tricks in abandoned locations because you don't know who's there, like living. You know, there could be somebody that's in an abandoned place and your mind starts going, and if you're going yourself for a wee lone vigil, that's when your mind starts playing tricks again. So it'd be good for always to see it at the same time.
Yeah.
But as David said, with the replays and stuff like that, that's what I truly believe as well.
So, David, have you thought about becoming a Ghostbuster?
So, when did I think about becoming a Ghostbuster?
Have you thought about becoming a Ghostbuster?
No, I'd rather be a paranormal investigator, which is different.
But have you thought about
It's more scientific. I believe a paranormal investigator is more scientific.
What about you, Rigger? Have you thought about being a Ghostbuster?
I would say, but David said the same. I think the paranormal investigation side of things, there's a lot of, I had the word in my head there, research.
Yeah.
A lot of folk are like paranormal researchers, and stuff like that. It's more gathering evidence, more try to communicate more, stuff like that. But I don't really fancy ectoplasm or anything like that, so out with my big gun or my Dyson Hoover, try to soak up some spirits.
Interesting there, Rigger. Must say, very interesting there. But, but then, David, do you
Yeah.
think that UFOs from other planets visit Earth?
I can't answer that because I don't have a big interest in it, and
David, you've got to have a
I
kind
don't.
of interest.
I'm not. I don't. I don't slate other people who do believe in it, because vice versa, there's people who would slate paranormal investigations because they
Mhm.
don't believe. So it works both. It works both ways.
Mhm.
So
Well, you,
just
Rigger, what's your
view.
views?
I think it depends how much alcohol you've had. No,
Well,
I genuinely believe there's certain areas of the world that UFOs tend to visit. That's what I believe. But again, with these crop circles and stuff, it's been proven that there is people out there that fake it. Same as the paranormal side, I think there's people that fake that. There's people that fake UFOs and aliens and stuff like that. There's people that fake the Loch Ness monster. There's people that fake Bigfoot. Again, it's a tough one. But as David said, I don't. I believe in them.
yeah,
But if I didn't, I've nothing against the people that do, because it's the same
of
for
course.
them. They might believe in aliens, but they don't believe in
You don't judge
in
people on their
spirits.
beliefs, do you? You just support their views.
It's a
Eh?
view. Yeah,
What
support
is
a
it?
view.
Oh,
Everybody's entitled to their view.
it's if somebody was to say to me last night, I'm sure I seen a UFO, I would sit and I would listen to them.
Well, if you want me to tell you a wee story, one of the first houses we were in, and it was like a summer's night, and it started getting dark, and we were sitting outside, and we seen these lights in the sky, and they're like just flashing out and in. Then it would disappear altogether, and then suddenly it was back again, flashing out and in, and wasn't going anywhere. It was staying in the one spot.
That's spooky, David. That's
Yeah,
very
no,
spooky.
yeah. And the same thing happened one night we were on holiday in Spain, sitting in a balcony, and it was like out in the middle of like mountains, and you could see these lights flashing, just like constantly going one either side, flashing out and in, and it was staying in the same spot. So Rigger could be right about the aliens.
It's like with the paranormal, like also we're saying
Very
with the
intense as
patients.
well, isn't it? It's very intensive.
Aye, it's like we could go see being in Scotland and go right up north. It's probably the best place I've been in the pitch black and seen the stars. The stars are so clear. You can see
Yeah.
everything, and I could spend hours just looking at them and saying to myself, "What if I seen like a UFO?" Wherefore, the same if I'm out investigating, I could sit for hours and say, "What if I actually seen an entity?" You know, like I
Yeah.
seen a spirit in front of me. It's the same sort of thing. Like, I do believe in it.
It's good to hear your views, though, Rigger and David, because as you are, paranormal investigators, the both of you will have different views on certain matters. So it's perfectly great to hear the differences between the two, because then people know that you have opinion on different variety of stuff.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yep.
You need that within your team or any team. I think you need different views.
Definitely, like it works. It works better. There's no point of saying like, "Oh, did anybody hear that?" And then everybody goes, "We did," because then it's better if somebody's
as well, isn't it? I mean, you're going to go in. You are in a group, and you ain't going to be against someone else for not liking the same match.
no.
It's all about sharing your differences and working together in a paranormal unity.
We've done it in the past. People like somebody will go, like, "Do you hear that?" And somebody will go, like, "No." So it's just you be honest.
It helps the bond as well, and it's not just bond. It's you build friendships through the part. I've built so many friendships with not just David and the team, people beyond. and they've had different views, and I've had different views for them, and that's just the way it works. It works better that way. See everybody agreeing on things. It
Faults.
doesn't tend to work. Aye.
As they say, Rigger and David, honesty is the best policy, and you shouldn't be ashamed about your views.
It is.
Definitely.
Yep.
Definitely.
But yeah, so what would you do then if you was taking abroad a UFO?
Aboard it. Probably see if they've got a bar.
And ask for a shot.
I don't know. It's not something I've ever been asked, but
Well, Rigger, you know, if you haven't seen an episode of Paranormal Radio before, you gotta expect the unexpected.
oh, definitely. It's like getting beamed up by UFO. That's unexpected. But I don't know. I don't know what I would do. I think I'd be like, peace and quiet. Away for the partner. So I'd be like, oh, this is good. I would ask them. What I would do is I would ask them if they could just eat.
Did it deliver?
Oh, that is a good one. Fair play. That is a great answer. What about you, David? What would you do if you was taking abroad a UFO?
I'd be a believer then.
And don't say you're going on a free holiday to Mississippi.
Yeah. I'd just say to him, look, I've not got my passport with me. No, I would be a believer then. I would need to see it to believe it.
You would
As
need
I
to
say,
see it.
Yeah, I would need to have seen something. Well, I have seen things and I'm not sure about them, but I'd need to see it. I'd need something to really make me believe.
Oh, well, David, hold that thought because you don't know what paranormal can bring to you.
Yeah. But I don't think I'll see a UFO in an abandoned place.
Never say never, David. Never say never in paranormal.
Well, see, we know
And
everything's
just
going
because you said that on the air, that might actually be cursed. So,
yeah. But now
you
everything's turning electric now.
You could have a lifetime full of surprises by that statement.
I hope so.
But then, Rigger, do you believe that UFOs genuinely exist?
I do. Yep. I just think universe is a vast place. It's not just going to be us as it exists. There's definitely other planets and Earth, life form, and stuff like that. You think your universe. So, as I said earlier, like if you're sitting in your room now and you've seen the minutest bit of dust, and compare that to the size of your room, that's us in the universe.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So universe is vast. It's massive. You know, it's never ending. Or is it? We don't know. But I believe there is other forms. There possibly could be a planet that basically matches Earth. You know, and there's people that are living there, and they're asking the same. We don't know.
What about you, David? What's your views?
Now, as I say, I would need to see it. Is that they've never really actually found life, have they? Anything living. So I would need to see it.
The mystery, that's the secret, though, David.
Yeah, I would believe it if I seen it. As I say, I don't pan it. I'm not panning anybody's beliefs, but my personal view is I'm very sceptic on it.
You're a bit of a 50-50 when it comes to it, aren't you, David?
Yeah. I'm not saying no and I'm not saying aye, so...
Is that motivation and thrive if you want to research it further?
Yeah.
Well then, Rigger and David, what are your views on teams charging for a home invest? Do you think that fuel should be a mandatory fund? Do you think it should be on PayPal? Do you think it's up to the homeowner if you've done a well-done investigation? and they give you some money as a help, as a thank you, or what is your views in it overall? And I'll start
It
No.
with
should result in a jail fine
Aye.
for charging people.
Yep, myself and David spoke about it as well. Like, if you want to start a team up, then you should be willing to fund for that yourself, whether that be equipment. If it gets to the stage you see a bit of equipment that's £400 and we've not got the money there to get it, well, we'll wait and we'll get it. If we get a paid location, say, and it's something that we really want to do, but we're trying to get it for this year, we can't afford that, we'll wait till next year.
Exactly.
But again, as I said earlier, we've been to private locations and we've always been offered money, and we never take it. Never. We'll never ever take it. It's just something that we
do
believe
you
in.
think though you've earned it though? Do you think it more of an earned, or do you think you
No,
know
I
you
think
would do it anyway, sort of thing?
I'd rather earn their trust and the fact that they've contacted us and they've
To
seen
get
us
their
through Facebook or whatever, through social media in some shape or form, and they've actually took their time to contact us and give us the opportunity to go and investigate. That's our money side of things, is getting that opportunity. That's the way we see it.
Well, that's a really thoughtful thing then, Rigger. That's very thoughtful. What about you, David? I know you are a group, but if you was an individual investigator, what would you think?
No, I still think the exact same. It's my personal beliefs, the same as Rigger. I don't believe in charging people for something that's freely available.
Mhm.
So
And there's some the thing is, these people could generally, if they really wanted to, they could investigate a property themselves. It just might be they don't feel confident, they don't know how to go about it.
Yeah.
But there's been a location we've been to about 5, 6 times, and every time we go, we get offered money. And there is teams out there that would say, right, we'll charge £200, but when it comes to midnight, anything beyond midnight every hour, it's going to be an extra £100. And they'll hold that out, and then that's when they start. And this isn't a dig to all teams, or this is just my opinion. They would start feeding them information that isn't real. Wherefore we would go, and if the investigation lasts 2 hours, it lasts 2 hours. If it lasts 20 hours, it lasts 20 hours. We will not charge. We'll pay for our own fuel. We'll
There's
pay
also
for
respecting the
our own food.
homeowner's trust as well, isn't it? Because as you said, the homeowner has put faith in you. So
Yep.
it's whether you accept the donation or whether you don't. But the main thing is the homeowner is always pleased and happy about what you've done to comfort that homeowner and to honour her wishes in her home. So
Exactly.
that's the main and important priority of a donation, I would imagine. What about you,
What?
David?
I believe the homeowner is very vulnerable.
Yep.
And that is, but like I say, but people will take advantage of that.
Mm-hmm. And they'll say things like, there's a demonic. As I was on the podcast last night, demonic get mentioned a lot because a lot of people, it's a demonic spirit. It's a demonic
You
spirit's
don't
a
know
big
that.
thing now. But these people that are charged money could potentially say, there is something demonic in here, we'll need to return. But this time, it's going to be £300. But with the trust thing, with the private location that we've been to about 5 or 6 times, we built full trust with the owner. And what would happen is they would leave us the key to their property, and they would leave and go to their partners and get a sleep and stuff. And when we were finished the investigation, we would leave the key, lock up, leave the key, and that's how much trust that they had in us. But I don't know if that's down to because we've not went down the road of money after money, or just the way we conduct ourselves, because we would get the owner involved as well. But it might have been different if we said it's going to be £300, because then they could start getting wise to it and saying, well, they're just out here for money. You know, I'm not trusting them with my possessions.
I see.
I think it's
they
realise we're genuine. Yeah, I think the owner realised that we were genuine.
Aye. Yep.
When you don't
It's
take
good
money
to know, because as you know, most teams would say, you know, if you want to donate, you can. You're not obliged to, But if you think we've done a good job in your home and in investigation, there's the PayPal, the username or an email address. So then it's up to that homeowner then whether they would like to donate. It's not
Yep.
it's not
definitely.
a put on request. It's not a mandatory. You've got to
Yeah.
donate 20 euros, $20 because I've been investigating your home. It doesn't work like that because don't forget it adds to your reputation as well. So that's the main
Of
important
course.
part of it all.
I had a woman message me, and we actually went and investigated a property and property stroke business, and she asked me how much for the investigation, and I said we don't charge any money, and she said you are the first person out of so many teams that I've asked to investigate here that has turned around and said you are not charging anything, and she said I can't have you coming out and not giving you anything. I said, look, we would find it offensive if you were to give us money. That's just the way we are. We're genuine. And we went out, and she pulled me aside, and she was talking about money and stuff. Says, look, we don't want your money. We just appreciate that you've took your personal time to contact us. That's our enjoyment. It's our passion.
It's good because you're adding trust to that homeowner as well because they're not feeling obliged to pay for your service. So that's good. That's fantastic to hear that.
See if we can help somebody. It
Yep.
makes us feel good as well.
Huh?
So if we can help somebody, then good on it. Know what I mean?
But we also, there's a lot of people that are kind of funny with private investigations because you don't know what you're stepping into. You don't want to give the owners false information or whatever. But we always try and debunk stuff anyway. But we'll always explain to the owner, and we'll get them involved. We'll get them, if they want to get involved or participate in an investigation, that's absolutely fine. We'll explain them what the equipment is. If the boys lit up, it could be, we'll try and debunk that. It could be maybe it's just been sitting wrong or vibrations, and we don't want to go as paranormal because then that's when their mind starts. They automatically think that their property's 100% haunted. I mean, a lot of people think ghosts and stuff. They think Hollywood movies. They think Amityville horror. They think stuff like that. They're going to start getting dragged across the floor, or tellies are going to start levitating and all this. But it's nothing like that.
Really interesting to hear though from Rigger and David, about your home investigations views. Because most people think, if I got charged, if I got to go 10 miles, 20 miles, you think, that, okay, we ain't going to get there for free, but it should come out of their own earnings because you're doing something that the homeowner really needs to find answers of. And you're also giving her that comfort.
Sorry, David. On the same note as well, like we could travel 100 miles to an abandoned location, and we'll all put money in for fuel. So we don't see any different travelling 100 miles to a home investigation because we'd have put money into the fuel anyway. Oh,
paranormal.
On my cupboard, I do apologise.
Paranormal.
That's the aliens.
Yeah, he didn't believe
I'm
either.
getting a bit spooked now myself, but
he didn't believe either.
It's just, this show, this is the first thing that anything is happening to me, I must say. It's happening live, and that's the worst part.
It's probably her behind you at the window.
I think there's a spider trying to come across all the cupboards and trying to knock things down from the shelves. But, who knows? That's the question. Who really knows? But yeah, so moving on then about, home invest pricing, because it's also good to have your views on that. Because everyone will be thinking, if I really have a problem at home or a problem in my house, they can contact you because then, you've worshipped the paranormal and you'll do anything that you can in your power to put them at comfort and give them the answers that they need.
Sorry for putting in there, Tom. Just thinking, and also I like to mention as well that we don't judge these people. They might say that something's happened and it sounds like something for a Hollywood movie, but we don't judge them because we don't know if it has happened because we've not been there. So we'll never judge them. Although we might walk away and say,
the homeowner, which is good.
If we walk away and go, your house there's nothing in your house, we've tried everything. It might just be the night we'll return, but we'll never judge them because these people are they're learning as well. They're interested, and they're just trying to find out why and how and why spirits exist and do they exist, and they just don't know how to go about it. But we'll never judge any property owner, homeowner, business owner.
I think the homeowner contacted you because they're uncertain. So that's the one
That's
thing
it.
to bear in mind. I mean, they're
Yeah.
uncertain, so they are giving you their trust. So
Yep.
it's all about honouring that and doing your best that you can as a paranormal group, because that's the main thing. It's doing a service that they so desperately acquire.
Mhm.
But moving on then about the home investigations with a different part of it completely. How can you detect a home investigation scam? Now, the reason why I'm asking this is because it's going to be, well, there are potentially Facebook pages advertising home investigations with a money, you got to transfer money over for us to or help you out, for instance. What are the three things to be vigilant of because of all these scams that are occurring?
I'm lost for that question.
Yeah.
What are the three things
First of all,
to look out for
first
to
of all,
detect a fake home investigation page? So if a
yeah, chief
homeowner
of staff,
needed advice and they've
Tom,
contacted this page and it's a bit uncertain, what would you advise for that?
do not transfer money in the beginning. If they ask for money, first off, do not transfer it. I would rather let them come out to the house, see what they find, but do not transfer money. First of all, you ask them, do the charge to start with? And if they say
Mhm.
yes, then you move on.
So I'm still lost for that question. Sorry, I apologise. Do you mean if we were to contact a team to come out and investigate our property?
Well, what I mean, Rigger, is because there are scams about whether it's telephone, social media. If social media pages are designed to offer a home investigation service, but in reality they're not, they are there for the interest of having or obtaining money.
Yep.
What are the
Oh,
three things to look out for in that instance?
as David said, first thing, money.
Don't entertain them when they ask for money up front.
What if they were smart at it and trying to gain your trust as that conversation developed?
You still don't ask. You still don't pay up front.
Very
I
good
would
answer there, David. What
Just
about you, Rigger?
you should make it clear that you're not paying money up front.
mhm. I would ask them about their experience as well.
Yeah,
That's a good
yeah.
one. That's a good thing also to be aware of. I mean, if they are genuine, it will give you a fully developed paragraph explaining their differences, or maybe even offer a video or an audio call. Getting to
But
hear
you've
them.
got to meet. You need to meet the homeowner before you do any kind of investigation. You need to speak with them.
Hmm. Aye. The other thing is what you could do is you could go about social media again, contact other paranormal teams, see if they've heard from them before,
Yeah,
check
yeah.
podcasts,
See what kind of
stuff like that.
popularity they've got. Aye,
Or
Hmm.
screenshot this page in question and hand over to
yeah,
SPID or other
yeah,
teams, and they can verify the genuine and the authenticity of it, which is
Yep.
also a good idea as well, because people need a different opinion. People need that second verification
yeah,
whether, is this group genuine? I need to know because I don't want to put my trust into these people. So
Mhm.
it's about having that trust and not having that trust mistaken and not offering a service
Yep.
that you rightfully need, and you're not getting it by a scam or a lookalike page, for instance.
The
So
thing is as well, with a lot of people that, well, I'd imagine a lot of people are after like to get their house investigated or their business or what. They would probably go down the road of looking for the bigger known teams.
yeah,
But a lot of these bigger known teams, when they're doing lives and stuff, it's like send stars, which is money. Send stars and this and
yeah,
that, and what they don't realise is they're making money. Wherefore, teams like us, as smaller teams, we're the more genuine. We don't charge any money. We do it for the passion. But and it's a shame. It's a shame because you generally just try to help people, and again, we don't judge them. It's we could go and investigate, and we might not be for them. They might go, look, we don't really like the way you're working and stuff like that. That's fine because you're going to get that. That's part of the bandwagon.
Have you been involved in a miracle then, David and Rigger? And what was it about? Can you share us some insight?
No, I've not been involved in a miracle.
What about you, Rigger? Have you been involved in a miracle?
Don't mention football.
I've had I would say it's possibly it could be a miracle. So about 10 years ago, maybe 15 years ago, I went through with my pals and it was a nice summer's day. And this is a wee bit of a story, right? But I see it as potential miracle, right? Because I potentially shouldn't have been here today, right? So we went a walk and we had some beverage in a bag. So we were drinking and stuff and we found this waterfall and we were jumping off, but you had to land in like a perimeter or maybe 6 foot, basically a perfect circle. And round the edge it was like shards of rocks and boulders and stuff. So you had to make sure you hit this circle to go into the water. So I was up the top and drinking more, so obviously starting to get more drunk, and I went to throw a rope, but as I threw the rope I slid. But as I slid, I was about 20 foot. So as I slid I was falling about 20 foot, but I was falling head first, and I seen the rocks coming towards me, and somehow I managed to turn, managed to get my body around, and my feet hit the rocks, and that's all I remember. I just remember getting pulled out of the water. Now, within about, if I never managed to turn within about 5 seconds, I'd have probably been in the spirit world. But to me, that was a miracle to me, because, as I said, it was still, when I think about it to this day, it's
Thing is, you always remember, doesn't it? You always will remember that lifetime moment because it'll stay with you forever.
I had
So
to.
you'll always know if you've been involved in one because of the memories you have.
I had to get helicoptered and stuff like that. And where I was, it's a gully, right? So it's just like hills that come down, but the helicopter couldn't land. So the helicopter was up and they had to take me up. But still to this day, I was like, I don't even know how I survived that. I do not know, because I should not have survived that. I must have knocked myself out, like when my feet hit the rocks, my knees came up and hit my face. But my shoes, like, my shoes didn't exist. They were gone. That's how hard I hit it. But the interesting thing is, I went to the hospital. I got airlifted to the hospital. From my waist to my toes was black. I did not break, fracture one single bone.
That is a miracle. That is, Rigger. That is.
Nothing.
I'm hoping you did make a speedy recovery, though, because it did sound a very, very painful story.
I can't even remember. I think I was in maybe close to a week, but nothing, not even any tissue damage, nothing. And I'm 17.
Rigger.
I'm 17 stone. 17 stone. So falling at maybe 20 foot at a fair pace and hitting sheer rock, surely I'd have broke something. But I always remember my dad saying to me, "Drink milk every day. Drink milk. It'll strengthen your bones."
Oh, it did.
And so that was my miracle.
Lucky guy.
But Rigger and David, do you know what time it is now?
Yeah.
Chico time.
Chico flash from again.
So, Rigger and David, before I show you this next video clip, I want you to guess what video we are about to see.
Oh, I'm going to go as an EVP.
An EVP. What about you, David?
No, I think is it a video footage K2 film?
Ooh.
Let's go.
If you made a noise there, can you do it again? You make that clicking noise.
Is there any spirits here that feel trapped? Feel like they're not allowed to leave? Are you scared to leave this building?
Maybe he's kind of stood back.
And push forward. Come and communicate with us.
You like the ball in the top of the fireplace?
That's the ball there.
Is that your name?
A woman's voice came through, actually, to be honest. It said, pure Scottish wit, I eat.
Okay. Spirit, can you tell me the name on the board? Tell me what it says. What word? What does it say?
My name came through again.
What word is on the board, Spirit?
Liz.
Tell me the word on the board. Tell me the word. What does the word say?
I got a woman's voice, sounded quite in pain. It sounded like this, please help me.
Can you tell me the word on the board? Spirit, I want to know the word. What does it say? Tell me the word. Read out the word on the board.
Percy.
So, SPIG, what did we see on screen?
Listen, see when I said there, what does it say on the board? Did any hear the deep breath? All you heard was a deep breath going,
Oh, did you?
aye,
That's
yeah,
the footage of. Remember, we ran through it when I sent it
Yep.
in. We looked at it a few times with a light anomaly on the wall. Now we thought maybe a reflection, a watch, a phone, because it happened before. But when you look at
Yeah.
it closely, when you see the light anomaly behind myself when I'm on the blind spirit box, it crosses my path. Now, if that was caused by a watch or a phone, when it crossed over me, you would have seen it on me, but it
Yeah.
goes behind me
yeah.
and then it
And
fades.
you also see the laser lights being broken on the
And
back wall.
I looked. Also, it was through the live people on the live seen it, and when not long after that, David, that's when you do the number, and I
Yeah.
thought maybe it might be David's glasses, but when you come off, you were moving about, and as well when Liz, she was on before me doing the blind spirit box, there was no
Yeah.
light anomaly behind her, but during that footage as well, it wasn't on there, but during it, at some point I say, I'm the spirit, I'm here. That's what I heard coming through, and then later on, that's when you see the light anomalies.
Yeah.
But it was strange because, as I said, if a light is crossing through, it's going to go into my face or just, but it goes through, and then you don't see it behind. It goes behind, and then it comes.
you.
I'm trying to get my this camera right, and it goes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, I must say, Rigger and David, that was very good footage from your investigation.
Thank you.
Those who haven't seen the full video, it's worth following SPIG on Facebook so you don't miss out on the latest videos or even sneak peeks of their investigations. But
Yep.
David and Rigger, the time you've been waiting for, and it's Chico time. And SPIG, are we ready for this?
Yeah.
Are we all ready, Rigger?
Ready?
Now we can hear you. So then, David, did you enjoy that lovely commercial break just then?
Yeah.
I'm sure I heard them singing.
I was waiting in Peter Kay.
Oh, you can't beat Peter Kay for a commercial. You really can't. But anyway then, Rigger, we start with you from the returning commercial. Do you believe that when you get a chill down your back, it's a rabbit running down over a grave?
No.
Why is that?
Just it's the same as step on a crack. I remember years ago, I was a lot younger then, I think I was about 21, and all these sort of conspiracies of break a glass, under a ladder, through a ladder, salt or over the shoulder, stuff like that, walking a crack. I try to do everyone in one day, and nothing happened.
Nothing happened.
No.
What
So-
about you, David?
I didn't even think about it. It just overheat.
Well, unfortunately, David, I don't think the receptors are working.
Yeah. I just don't. Maybe
You
it's
gotta
just
get
me.
that chill. You gotta get that shiver.
I don't believe it.
Oh, well.
I can say
As
that.
I
I
said
think
earlier in Paranormal
it's
Radio,
over.
it's also good for Rigger and David to have different views because that's what it is on radio.
Yeah.
But anyway, I do want to remind everyone that this is the last part for Paranormal Radio. Who's enjoying it so far?
I'm enjoying the music.
Yeah, definitely.
You're not enjoying the Paranormal Radio as such, then, are you, Rigger?
Aye, I'm enjoying the questions. Definitely. It's been a good laugh. Been good.
As I say on Paranormal Radio, there's always going to be a question that's difficult to answer, but that's the beauty of Paranormal Radio, is testing your knowledge to that full extent.
Yep.
But then, David, I'll come on to you for this next question, and also Rigger will have the chance as well to express his views as well. What
Yeah.
would you do, or how would you react if one of your friends admitted that he or she practices witchcraft?
I would ask them how they get into it and what's it all about. I'd actually be quite interested to see what's involved in it all. And
It is
let
an
them
interesting subject as well. It's very
Yeah.
interesting development.
and let them put their views across before
What
I
about you, Rigger?
made any judgment.
I would take them to the pond and see if they drown. I'm not joking. No. I'd be interested. I like all that sort of stuff. I like all the kind of dark side of things. I like voodoo and stuff like that. Quite interested. It's something I potentially have had time. I'd look deeper into it. Again, this is a wee story from years ago. I was in primary 7. There was this girl that I fancied, and so my pal, funnily enough, we called him Pagan, right? Because he was into like black magic and stuff. So we went on the internet. This is when it was like speed dial. So we went on the internet and we found this wee potion that we made up. It was like black rose and I can't even remember. A certain few wee things, and we done it. See, the next day I went in. She asked me to go out with her. Now I don't know if that's coincidence, but that was a wee spell. It was to basically get her to ask me the next morning, "Oh, would you like to go out with me?" And I never ever spoke to her. I just fancied her. And the next morning, funnily enough, she asked me.
Yeah,
Interesting.
that's it.
I was only going out with her for that day, but could have been coincidence. I don't know. But
And Mr.
it's interesting. I think it opens your mind to.
Well, I thought my office was haunted with something falling over near enough on my head. So, If that's not paranormal, if that's not hauntedness, I don't know what is. But that's something I've never witnessed on paranormal radio either. So, anything can happen on paranormal radio. It's just anything and anything. But David, do you believe in astrology?
No.
Why not?
My wife does.
But why don't you believe in it, David?
Because if you read all these papers, it's all different. They give all different examples, which I find, my personal opinion, I find nonsense. But as I say, everybody's entitled to their own views.
What about you, Rigger? What are your opinions when it comes to astrology?
Again, it's like anything else, innit? You get an opinion on everything. You get the good side, you get the bad side. It doesn't matter what you do, you always get judged. Again, it's the same sort of thing. It's the same as everything, innit? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Unfortunately, Rigger, on paranormal radio, you can't phone a friend. That's something we don't allow.
Damn. I think, as Dave said, there is parts that's put out there and it's potentially could be a load of crap or whatever. But again, it's the same. It's the same as anything, isn't it? It's the world's going that way.
Yeah.
Everything's changing.
Do you personally think then some people have supernatural abilities?
Yeah.
What makes you believe that?
Well, you've got. Would you say? Would you class a medium or a sensitive on that? Because there has been some, David. You know yourself. There's people with abilities,
and it's proof.
And it's proof as well.
It was proved.
I don't believe there's people there that's like Superman that can like send beams out and all this, or like Matilda, you know.
No.
But aye, there is some sort of people that's got kind of abilities. I wouldn't say like superhero abilities out that, but aye.
Well, you, David, what are your views on supernatural abilities?
Definitely. Yep. Because I've seen it.
Interesting responses.
A person said something that was true that she didn't know about, and nobody else would have known apart from the owner of this property.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So why do you think then ghost hunters use thermo imaging cameras?
To catch images. The aura of a spirit.
Well, you, Rigger, why do you think ghost hunters use thermo imaging cameras?
Well, it's temperatures as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you can get like you're standing there with obviously with the heat depends. It's going to be more red. Like we'll show red. Spirits usually tend to show a kind of blue, a cold kind of colour. So it helps capture cold spots and stuff like that.
Yeah.
How do you spot poltergeist activity?
Stand at the road before you get hit with something.
What?
Well, on that subject, and Rigger will verify that, we've had poltergeist activity. Haven't we, Rigger?
Yep.
With a bench being moved, a heavy bench being lifted and banged in the floor, and a K2 being pushed over.
Mm-hmm. We also got the ball that got moved.
Yep. Oh,
The demon doll was sitting. The ball would come off a demon doll, and then the demon doll get pushed to its side as well. But the bench for me, and the thing is, every bench was
standing right outside.
Yep.
And the thing was, Rigger, you rushed in first. mind.
Yep.
See what was going on.
And there was only one bench that was out of place. The rest of them were all lined up perfect.
Online.
This one
Yep.
bench was out of place.
Interesting there. Interesting.
But I think when people think Poltergeist, they think The Exorcist. They think all this sort of stuff. But again, it's Poltergeist. People think Poltergeist is an evil spirit. You know what I mean? Demonic. It's not necessarily the case. It's just it's potentially could just be a spirit that's able to move things, and
Of course.
you know,
They're
it
letting you know they're there.
could be the nicest of person when they were living, and could be the nicest of spirits. It's just they've got the potential to move things.
Yeah, and let you know that they're there.
Really good views though about about that, because not many know how to capture poltergeist activity. So it's also good to give them some examples. I think, you know, if I'm capturing something, what is the best what is the best solution to release poltergeist activity?
Tom, see if they go to our Facebook page, see if they watch the video of the K2 being pushed over, see if they watch it with earphones on, you will hear the bench banging downstairs.
Ooh, that's a chilling moment, that is. That's a very chilling
I think
moment.
it's six. The K2 sits till 6 minutes 52, and then it gets knocked over.
And the thing is, when David's mentioning the K2, so the K2's sitting back, so it's leaning on a shelf. But when it get pushed over, it get pushed forward.
But it took 6 minutes 52 for it to fall over. That's a long time.
That's what I mean, though. When it comes to paranormal, there isn't a time limit. Activity can happen at any moment, at any time.
Oh no, definitely.
There isn't a schedule where you can
we were just fortunate enough to capture it, and the strange thing as well, the motion balls were going before, and then the K2 had went, and then the motion balls were going after the K2 had fell. But the K2, now, if you can imagine the back, a shelf straight, there's a slope, right? So you get the slope, and then you get the shelf. The K2 was sitting with its back on the shelf, but on the slope, which was caught, so it never slid. It physically got pushed that way. On its face.
So then, David, a question I'll ask you, because this is a little bit of a brain teaser for you. Not so much a brain teaser as such, but something that you might not know either. Are you ready for that?
Okay, yeah.
How do you cleanse a house from negative energy? What would be your procedure?
You'd bring a psychic in with that experience, or bring in a minister or a priest to do a cleansing. That would be your first port of call.
What about you, Rigger?
As David said, I know a lot of people are with the sage and stuff like that, but
I would bring these people in first because I've got experience of a house in Scotland that I went to. We did an investigation, and the same thing was happening. And a psychic that was working with us, he told us what was happening, and that's what he did. He cleared it. And ever since that night, there was no activity after that.
You need the right people. Like
you do.
There's teams or whatnot, or people that will try and move the spirits home, but you need to conduct it in the right manner as well.
Yeah.
But necessarily, I'm a strong believer. If spirit doesn't want to move on, it's not going to move.
No. Like, you can't force it.
Yep. If somebody can come in and guide them to the light, so to speak, or towards their loved ones on the Tuesday, that's fine. But I believe it could possibly anger the spirits as well, because they could see that home is still their home. You know, it's theirs, and
you know yourself. Oh, sorry. You know yourself, Rigger. Those people, we've said it. We can come in and see what's going on in a house, but it can make it worse.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It can increase activity.
Yep.
So, what are your views when it comes to Ouija boards? Do they give off bad luck?
Nah,
Depends on how it's been used.
aye.
I think there's too much hype with these things.
Mhm.
I really
Well,
do.
they were originally made in, I think it was Africa, wasn't it? South
Yeah.
Africa. For it was actually a kids' board game. That's how they originated. And there's an experiment that we do because again we want to take the fakery side of things so people don't think they're moving the planchette or whatnot. So we conduct a thing called the blind Ouija. Again, the people that are conducting themselves in the Ouija board, they'll be blindfolded. Somebody will be calling out, trying to communicate with the spirit, and the planchette is moved the once and it went to yes. The
Yeah.
good thing is the people that are blindfolded, they don't know where the yes is. They don't know where this is going. Like, it's dead deceiving because you think that the planchette could be moving quick, but it's only moving slightly, or you think it's moving slightly, but it's actually moving quick. But it takes that perception of people watching going, oh, they're moving the planchette. Because I've been out with people that have legit moved the planchette themselves,
No.
and they know they have, and I know they have, and that's people I wouldn't go out with again because of that. But I think a lot of people say you've got to do it the proper way, and you've got to do it like this and that. Now I see the spirit box, for so to speak, a modern Ouija board because you're just
Yeah.
asking the same questions,
Take
apart
it.
from they're coming through in an audio effect.
Yep.
Because the reason why I'm asking about the Ouija boards as such is because the media to portray them saying, don't use them, you get cursed.
Mhm.
So I
Aye.
think
Do you know
whether
why?
that would have given a bad
Yeah.
impression over the
you
use
know-
of it generally.
Tom, do you know why? Because a lot of young kids are trying that, and you shouldn't.
I've done the Ouija board a good few times, and I've only ever witnessed it twice. The planchette moving. One was when we conducted the blind Ouija, and one was before that, years before that, when it
Yep.
went to it spelt out John, I think it was, but it was like Jon, and that's it. And when you look at people that go out and investigate, and as soon as they bring a Ouija board out, the planchette automatically spells out a name, automatically goes to yes, automatically goes to no, so quick. Never
Yeah.
happens. Never
No.
happens. If a spirit's got that much energy and intelligence to do that, then why does it once they come off the Ouija board, why does it take so long for like a cat ball to light up?
Of
If they
course.
can move a planchette with that much force and power, I'm pretty sure they can move a cat ball.
Yeah. It's all for entertainment, Rigger.
Yep.
And it's all about the energy as well, how much energy is thrown through that Ouija board as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
You've
what
got
it
to
comes.
you've got to be open minded as well.
Oh,
You know, you've
definitely.
got to be open to it. But I'm not against it. I've got a Ouija board in my living room. Like Joan.
It's called his coffee table.
Aye.
Well,
We've got
I
a
had
Ouija
a
board.
folder coming down from my cupboard, so I can
There
experience
you go.
all the manner of things on paranormal radio.
Well, there you go.
Say again, David?
I says, there you go. Anything's possible.
It is. Even I'm a broadcaster, anything can happen on the shows I
course.
do. Anything can
Definitely.
happen.
Definitely.
That's how I don't focus on the future, David. You got to focus on what's around you and what's at the present. That's what you
Yeah.
got to focus on most.
Yeah.
But David and Rigger, I'm going to ask you this one last question about the paranormal, and then we're going to go on to a different side of paranormal with a new streaming service. But I'll keep that a secret until we discuss it further. But David and Rigger, who is the first candidate and the last candidate to take on this last question?
Rigger.
I'll go for it.
Rigger. So, Rigger, in many countries, people believe in ghosts, spirits, and dragons. Is this true in your country, and why do you think these beliefs are so common?
I wouldn't say dragons. I think the closest thing we've got to people believing in dragons is a Loch Ness monster.
Yeah.
But aye, spirits and ghosts and other paranormal stuff. Aye, I think it's quite Scotland's full of history. The battles and all that sort of stuff. There's loads of history, loads of ruins, loads of tales and stuff. I'm not saying that the tales are particularly true, but there's a lot of stuff, and I think that's what boggles people's minds, and they kind of they want to see for themselves if there is spirits or ghosts and stuff like that. But there is people that you speak to and you tell them that you're a ghost hunter or a paranormal investigator, and they look at you as if he's strange.
Two
But
heats.
it's and I'm not here to try and change people's minds if they're skeptic or non-believer. That's fine, but I'll always say to them, "Come out one night, see for yourself, and you go for there." But there's a guy I work with, and he always likes to take the piss, and I'll always say to him, "You come out one night, I'll pick you up, take you to a location, and then guarantee you the next morning you can't explain half the things that you've witnessed, but you'll never do it because he knows. I think he wants to believe, but at the same time, I think he doesn't want to be proved wrong."
Yeah. A lot of
So,
people like that.
aye.
What's your views, David?
Exactly what Rigger's saying. There's hundreds of people like that. They're interested, but they're too feared to get involved.
Mhm.
But
100%.
then, Rigger and David, this is the moment of question where we discuss the new streaming service, and we can now reveal what it is. So those who haven't heard of it before, it's called Paraflix.
Paraflix.
No, the reason
I heard
why
that.
I was asking these questions, which is going to be upcoming in a minute, before we navigate the site. As you can see on here, you got 25% off your first year, limited time use promo code that goes finders at checkout. As you can see here, you got a free trial, which starts at $2.96 a month, or $25.94 a year after a 3-day free trial. So that's a pretty exciting offer for those who want to trial out this streaming service firsthand.
Depends how good it is.
And David, I want to hear your views on Paraflix, and if you wanted to upload content to Paraflix where it can be seen by thousands and thousands of people, because I've actually have interviewed paranormal investigators that has got original content that is also exclusive on Paraflix. Would you have that if you had the opportunity to distribute content or have affiliation with Paraflix? Would you take it up?
Depends how good it is.
It is a popular paranormal themed website.
It could be. It might be popular, but how good is it?
It's your Netflix equivalent.
So it's videos don't buffer. Everything's perfect.
Yes, it's imagine paying for Netflix, for example, but you're paying for Paraflix.
Yeah.
You only get paranormal content.
Interesting.
But can you upload your own stuff?
You can, yes. And when it first launched, there was something on the top here that you could upload. You do have to follow certain procedures and certain requirements, but they would review your footage and they would get back to you within 3 days. And to be honest, they admire local teams or small teams because they can actually see the originality behind it. But most people as well have gained a huge or a more following for being on that Paraflix service. So that might be interest to you. It depends what as a group would say. But I think if they still got that ability, I do strongly think you should maybe consider it as such, because it
Well,
might be that jackpot you've been looking for as a team.
we're in the middle of rebuilding, so we're looking to bring in maybe another 2 people. But once we actually get like a full team and get the bond back up and full trust, then it possibly could be something could look into.
Oh, definitely.
As you can see, now you got some little previews on what's on Paraflix. But yeah, I do recommend it. It's a fantastic platform. I've interviewed many people on the service, and they are enjoying it. They are enjoying it on Paraflix. Obviously, you don't have to follow a certain time limit as such. You can take your time with the project, but because Paraflix is an important platform that is strictly for paranormal fans, most teams to focus on that more than the original platforms, which is only understandable because they're going to get a massive viewing on a verified streaming service, then on YouTube. But most teams are against using Paraflix as yet because they want to use YouTube or Facebook as a way of distributing content. But yeah, I do recommend looking into it at the very least, even if you don't distribute content to a man at hand. Could be a great platform for you as a team.
No,
It's
take it on
interesting.
board.
Interesting.
Yep.
Yes, it's interesting. I think we'll keep that in mind anyway.
Oh, aye. Yep. You'll find that these people that are kind of funny getting on it is because they're used to using YouTube and Facebook and stuff like that.
Definitely.
But as I say, we're in the middle of trying to rebuild a team and get the trust in the bond and the stuff in that back, and just try to concentrate on that. That's kind of our main goal now. But once we get to that stage, then it is something that we probably look at here.
But Rigger and David, just looking at that streaming service firsthand, that first glimpse of it, what can you describe that service to be in 2 words?
Oh, it's showing that it's displaying many teams. And obviously it must be a good service for these teams. But it looks at it. But that doesn't mean to say.
Would it make you be a subscriber, David? Would it make you be a subscriber of that service?
Yeah.
I would say my 2 words: good content.
It is good content. It is. Doesn't mean to say it'll be right for us.
Aye. Actually, we need to think it's especially we've got a moderator, Nicola. Nicola, if you're on, hello. But it would maybe be something we need to chat to her about as well.
Yeah, definitely.
All right then. Well, as there's been no questions for paranormal related questions in the live chat, we're going to take a quick 2-minute break, and when we return, Rigger and David, it'll be your chance to ask me some questions. So, are you ready for that?
Oh yes.
See if you dived into my content and dived into my video. This will be
David,
very good.
You can mute your mic.
But yeah, Rigger and David, we'll see you in 2. Stick around.
Okay.
Spig, it is your turn in the chair.
Okay, Doc. My first question is: are you a full believer of the paranormal?
Am I a true believer of the paranormal?
Yes. Spirits.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I do find the knowledge from other teams or other teams I interview very fascinating. Don't get me wrong. I do find it very mind blowing in some sense with the footage that teams to capture, and it do vary team by team. But there's that mystery, is that knowledge, and it's gaining a different perspective from different views about how they perceive the paranormal to be.
Huh?
Well, you, David, what is your question for Discoveries and Derelictions broadcaster? I think your sound is muted. There we go. Oh, have we got?
Have you ever been on an investigation?
Have I ever been on an investigation?
Yeah.
Well, I teamed up with another team. I'm not going to mention the name or anything in detail as such, but I have been involved in an investigation. It was just a demo for me, really, just to get a true visual of the paranormal with me actually being there as such and witnessing it firsthand. But yeah, I have been involved in an investigation as such. I'm an urban explorer by content creation, So I wouldn't really go out of my way to produce paranormal content because I don't have a true passion into it. But I have a
Yeah.
true passion in the urban exploration side of things, and
Yeah.
and I've been doing that now for a year. I've been everywhere, and I've been exploring other places as well. So there are different places to watch on the channel if you haven't already, such as a derelict as asylum I've been to. I've been to
Oh,
a pub with all possessions being left in there. So there is great explores like that I have done. So that would make a very good watch.
that would be interesting.
Have you, when you say obviously exploring and stuff, have you done any up in Scotland?
Have I been in Scotland or been up to Scotland?
Have you been to Scotland to explore anywhere?
I haven't been to Scotland exploring as such.
Is it something that you would be looking to do?
I would say so, to be honest. Yes, I would go over the borough all over the world and exploring. That is something I would do at some point. I never really thought about it though as such. But yeah, it's something that I wouldn't rule out. Nikki Murphy, hello, how are you doing? You're still in the show, Nikki. You're still capturing some of the show. Unfortunately for Paranormal, you'll have to rewind that back or watch it on live replay. But if you have any questions you wish to ask David or Rigger, sorry, to put them in the live chat because now is your chance to get to know these investigators without the paranormal side, just their personal perspectives on things.
Tom, what's your view on Margam Castle that's in your neck of the woods?
Margam Castle.
Yeah, in Port Talbot.
I don't have a view as such. I don't think I've been in the castle to really have an in-depth view on as such. But
They say it's
as
very haunted.
it's haunted.
They say it's very haunted.
I couldn't really answer that in as much detail because I'm an urban explorer. So my
Yeah.
view on the paranormal isn't as huge as paranormal investigators that I interview. So
Yeah.
if you have any questions about urban exploration or my favorite investigation or my least favorite investigation, then I
So,
could of course answer that.
when you've been out urban exploring, right, do you go along yourself?
Well, it's the same with paranormal, isn't it? You know, you shouldn't really explore by yourself because you don't know what you'll face. Um, I I haven't explored on my own as such because it's the safety factors.
Right.
You know, you gotta really go in there knowing of the unexpected. It's like paranormal. You know,
Can't get
the
blind.
results will be unexpected, but you don't know what you'll be walking into and you just don't know the environment you'll be in. So, for that matter, going alone urban exploration isn't advised.
Yeah.
Do you think that when you've been out doing what you're doing with urban exploring, do you think you've ever came across anything paranormal?
That's another good question. I can't say I have when I was videoing it, but that's where the engagement, that's where that feedback is required on the videos that I do. Because it's those viewers that are watching my content, they should be telling me in the comments, for instance, with a
Yeah.
timestamp. You know, did we actually see this in this explore? Did we actually see that in this video? So that's where I require feedback from the viewers because you know I'm there to video, I'm there to publish the footage. So it's the feedback that I need really, because then I can look at it with a fine tooth comb and think, you know, I've actually caught something on an explore. So it's just requiring feedback from the people that watch the content.
I suppose you're not even thinking about it when you're videoing it. You're just videoing the location.
You're videoing what you can see.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you're not
You're
videoing
even
every
thinking about
fine
it.
tooth comb of
Yeah.
the room or where you're exploring. So it's all about that
Yeah.
physical thing that you see
I
in, not
suppose it's
behind you or
a,
on the floor or anything.
yeah, it's a bit like us. You depend on the viewer spotting stuff
Hmm.
to give you that feedback.
That's exactly right, David. That's exactly right. And after the show, David, I'm pretty sure you'll be watching some of my explores and you'll be leaving feedback in the comments.
So, where in exploring world, where would you like to see yourself in 5 years? What would your aim be?
Thing is, I don't do it for the fame. That's where I want to make out. I don't do it for fame. I don't do it for 3 million subscribers. Yes, they would be a massive achievement for me, but I don't, I don't focus on the fame side of it. I focus on the enjoyment and broadcasting to the nation or to the international what I can actually uncover, urban exploration. So I wouldn't focus on the fame. But in 5 years, it's hard. It's hard because in 5 years, it all depends where the urban exploration lands me as a broadcaster. I would be doing the interviews as normal, urban exploration interviews as well. But in 5 years, I just think I am now because it's just hard to predict. Because with paranormal, you've got a view of what 5 years could land yourselves in. But with urban
Yeah.
exploration, it's a little bit different. Only a
Mhm.
slight bit of different because you just can't predict that far in the future.
Going to
I
ask you a
think
question. Oh, sorry, David, on you go.
Well, carry on.
I'm going to ask you a question that you asked us. The first thing, well, similar. What do you think your first reaction or the first thing you would do if you get beamed up by aliens?
Wow.
Your first question.
That question isn't necessary.
Broadcast it.
But I do like the questions, I must say. But Rigger, a question I'll ask you as such: have you seen any of my videos?
I thought they said alien.
I was watching a couple of wee snippets. And then, as I said, it's hard.
Snippets. You're gonna skip the good part. You've got to watch second by
I
second.
was just quickly because you were dealing with our moderator Nicola, and she was just filling us in with what you were saying. So I had a wee look on YouTube, and I think I watched a podcast. I can't remember what team it was with. I think it was two males. I think one of the guy had kind of a baldy head. It might have been a recent one.
No offense to anyone watching this and knows the team specifically. No offense. I do.
Again, I was just getting through. Always working, and honestly, it's see as soon as I put YouTube or whatever on the telly, my kids are constantly, can I get cartoons? Can I get this on? Can I get that on? And I don't get them in it.
Well, Rigger and David, it's time for me to ask you some questions. And let's see what answers we will have. My
Okay.
question is a little bit different, but that's the surprise on Paranormal Radio. You can't reveal your secrets. But
No.
Rigger, I'll ask you, what are your known habits?
Farting.
Tea cakes.
And farting.
Oh, when I'm out investigating, I always pass some wind. I don't know why. I don't know why. My habits. Snoring and talking in my sleep because my partner always tells me. But I tell her,
You're not having a nightmare, you Rigger.
eh?
You're not gonna have a nightmare, you.
No. But I'll say to her, my response is, well, it doesn't bother me because I can't hear. But I don't know. I couldn't tell you my habits. Smoking.
What about you, David? What are your habits or known habits or habits that none of us even knows?
In the past, I've sleepwalk and tried to go out the front door. Honestly, years ago, yeah. No now. For some reason, no now. But years ago, yeah. I tried to go out the front door.
Rigger, iPhone or Android? What is your preference?
Android.
Why?
I've never had an iPhone, and they never. I just think Android's so easy to use, like the Play Store and stuff like that. I've always just went with
Well, you don't
Android.
want any intermediate level rigor?
Eh?
You don't want any intermediate level?
Nah.
Understandable.
I just think Android's so much simpler to use, and I've always just used it. Like even when Blackberries and that came out, never ever interested me. iPhones never interested me. I like Samsungs.
If you had to leave one thing behind for 48 hours, what would it be and why?
My
And
partner.
that's for Rigger and David. What would you leave behind in
Right.
48 hours?
14 hours.
48 hours, 2 days. What would you leave behind? What would be your valuable possession that you couldn't give up?
Oh.
I couldn't give up. I couldn't give up food. But what I would leave behind, I would probably go my partner. 100%.
She'll kill you.
2 days, bliss. Bliss.
Well, I hope no one takes offense by that.
Yeah.
But what about you, David? What would you leave behind? Would you leave your phone? Would you leave your wallet? What would you leave?
My work.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Good work.
Fucking work.
But Rigger and David, what are your 5-year plan then? You can either answer this as a group or you can answer individually. What do you see? Where do you see yourself personally in 5 years?
Been more known in the paranormal field, but doing the same things as we're doing now in the paranormal field. By not obtaining money, fame, anything like that. Just doing what we do and people appreciating what we do.
Good answer there. Good answer. So, what is your favorite to least investigation to date?
Favorite.
Oh,
Your
favorite.
favorite to least favorite.
We could have different ones here. So on you go, Rigger. You go first.
I'll go. See, there's two in
Yeah.
the level, but if I really had to push your boat out and say it would be the unknown private one, because I can't say the name. David
Yeah.
knows
Yeah.
the one we were at the other week.
Yeah.
It would be that. Just because anytime you go, you're guaranteed activity. You hear voices where we are. EVPs are unreal. Class A, every time. Least favourite to date, I would say the one that we went to a few weeks ago, when we actually took a member of they're actually in our Facebook group, and they asked to come out one night, and we said that's absolutely fine. We went.
Yeah.
It wasn't what I was expecting. One, it was about a 2 mile walk. Now I'm fat. I don't like walking.
Yeah. Yeah.
And two, the activity, it might have just been one of the nights. I don't know. It's not to say there will no return. It just, I had my mind set because of the history, and it was known to be haunted. And we actually spoke to a woman that said, "Oh, you'll find plenty of spirit activity." We were expecting we're going to get some good activity, but we never really got much. And again, it could just be down to when we went or anything like that. But that's probably my least. I don't want to say the name, but
Yeah. I need to agree with you on both of them.
aye. Mhm.
Definitely.
So, David and Rigger, what do you do to relax then? What do you do in your spare time? And Rigger, I know you might say
Go
something
swim.
on the lines of going to the picture house, but what do you do in your spare time? I'd like to know.
My spare time, sleep.
Good answer, Rigger. What about you,
Pretty
David?
much.
Well, after being out on a Saturday night and looking through the stuff for the Monday, I try and relax on a Sunday and watch a movie with my other half.
Very nice, David. But it brings me to my last question of the evening. Have you
Yeah.
enjoyed Paranormal Radio?
Huh?
Definitely. Yeah.
Is this a different podcast that you've never been on before?
Certainly
Oh,
is.
definitely. They're usually 2 hours less than this.
How would you rate this podcast from 1 to 10?
9.
I'll go about a 9.5. I would have made it. I would have made it a 10, but
Good, Ringer. That is good to hear.
Because of the
I would have-
adverts.
Any
I would have made
improvement
it a
that you
10, but
want me to do on
some of the
Paranormal
music-
Radio?
Carry on, Tom.
Is there any improvements that you would wish to, wish to tell me? Anything like that?
Less adverts.
Am I a talkative broadcaster? Am I more of a
no.
flexible
No.
broadcaster?
You do your job.
Huh?
No, definitely, you do your job.
I'm doing a fantastic job, and I, David.
Yeah. And it's a pleasure to be on your show.
Liz?
Well, that's what I'm here for, David. I'm here to provide a platform. I'm here to provide a service, because if they never heard of SPIG, then with my help, you could even get podcast invitations. You could even get more subscribers to your channels, and you could even get more followers. Now, what is more better than that?
Definitely. Love it.
And everyone from start to finish, I've heard your insights on the paranormal, which is, again, fantastic in itself.
It's
We have one. Where is your favorite place you've explored? I can't give the location out as it would be in the same space, well, same situation as Rigger and David. I don't give out the specific place out, and I've never would do, because I do believe in protecting the property of the place, and I don't want it vandalized or in a worse condition than I found it to be as such. But I'll answer that as in my favorite place I've explored, and that would be the asylum. It would also be the pub I've explored on my first ever explore, which is a great one to see as well. But yeah, I've got so many favorites, to be honest. I've done a petrol station as well. So yeah, that is my favorite.
Too much.
But yeah, that's the thing with exploration, David and Rigger. You don't know what you'll explore, and that's where the mystery is for urban explorers.
That's how I like abandoned locations as well, because you're technically exploring it as well. Especially if it's your first time going, you need to check hazards and stuff like that. We like to get good photos and shots and stuff like that. So it is technically exploring. I like exploring too. I like history. I like old architecture. I like just the building work and stuff like that. But I don't know.
The one I went to, my first time out with Rigger and the guys that was with him at the time, I would never have found that place they took me to. And the building is unbelievable, the size of it.
Mm-hmm.
And funny thing was, that
the
night
show is approaching its conclusion.
But then, David and Rigger, would you come back on Paranormal Radio?
Yeah.
Huh?
Would you come back on for a revisit on this official channel for official interviews?
Definitely.
It would be good to get back on when we finally get the team built.
It'd be good.
Would you recommend me to any teams that you know of?
Definitely.
Yep. Definitely.
Well, thank you then, David and Rigger, for giving up your Friday evening to come on Paranormal Radio. It's been a pleasure as ever to interview you, and I do hope in the next couple of weeks or in the next couple of years it do really take off for you as a team, because nothing beats originality, motivation, and the passion for paranormal content. Keep it up the good work, SPIG, and I do hope you'll have a nice weekend ahead of you. And I hope you enjoyed it. It's been a pleasure to interview you. Take care and stay safe, SPIG.
You as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Take it easy, gentlemen.
Take care.